Killa podcast. KillaOfficial.com.
We're inside the ride right now. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we? Are we here?
We're
on.
We're
okay.
on.
Okay, we're on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Killa podcast, and it gives me great pleasure. This is a legendary personality within the Los Angeles music scene and the world. Yeah, baby, you know it. We've done a lot of jamming together. I taught her to beatbox and everything. Plus, we got the audience. I thought it was inside the ride. It's Nikka Costa.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, slowly but surely
We've done it.
Yeah, we made it. You know,
we're here.
it's the connectivity of it all, isn't it? It's like to be here. It's almost like we know we can hang, but we know you're here. But then all of a sudden, it's like just got to push that little inch. Like, let's actually hang out. Yeah, cool. I don't think people realise that. You know how often you actually see people when you are in the same city. You don't see people so
Very
much,
rarely.
isn't it?
Well, it depends on how busy you are, how many kids you might have, how much career stuff you got going on.
Yeah, I mean,
life
happens.
Life
it?
happens. Life happens in expediently faster segments.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's trippy.
Because the last time we hung out with each other,
It was like 1,400 years ago.
Yeah. It was for the
My
show.
box?
Yeah, the block. Nikka's box.
Nikka's box.
That's what she was doing, weren't you?
Yeah. That was a while ago. Those are still on.
I know.
You can find them.
I know. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been throwing them up on the Instagram.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Kids love
Love
them.
it.
Because it's still fresh as an idea. It's like no one's done it.
I know.
So it's still
and
fresh.
no one. If it was before Instagram, so no one. I know. I should start posting them.
Yeah, but you
Instagram.
are cool. You're pretty tight on the Instagram though. You post frequently.
No, I have a love-hate. I really do.
Really?
I actually hate it. Like if I need to photograph myself, why? Like really? Oh, here you guys go. I'm going to bed now. Good night. Like I just find it really. It's just it bugs me. It bugs me, but I know I have to do it.
Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
It
Unless something's going on, like this would be fun. We could be like, hey, we're doing a thing. Like it has a
vibe.
purpose.
That's right.
Not just like, this is my new pair of shoes, or like, this is my awesome breakfast. I don't know. It's just dumb.
I feel
People
that.
like it. I don't know.
I guess like having kids. I guess you're more susceptible to. I don't know, trying to get an
I'm
understanding.
susceptible to a myriad of germs. The flu, everything.
But like things that they're into, you must be able. You get first-hand impressions of what they're seeing and thinking. Because when you was a kid and you were into like a certain act or a sports player, you were in it, and like you'd want to know what they were eating and what they were doing.
Yeah, but was it? I don't know. Yes. I had the poster, like full door-size posters of like people that I dug.
Who do you dig? Who was the?
Oh my God! You want to laugh?
Who got the door?
Wait, you want to laugh?
Good.
Maxwell Caulfield from Grease 2.
Get out! No way! You were totally there. Really?
Loved him.
That's amazing. You're not the first singer-songwriter to be into the Grease phenomenon. Like that really was like a
It was huge
thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, because I'm a bit younger than obviously when Grease 1 came out. I saw Grease 1 and I loved it, but then Grease 2 was like, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, and it just
motorcycles.
It's
pretty cool.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. I do remember that. That was a time. My thing, I think, was what was it? I was, me, I was into my like
who
metal.
was your door poster?
My door poster, I think, was like Michael Jordan. Or
Michael
something.
Jordan?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I had a poster.
Sports.
Sports. American sports specifically. It was like I was into like the whole culture, street culture. So it's like things like hip hop and rap and basketball, things like that. So it was.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Who came to my gig one time? Oh, I'm spacing now. What's his name? Super, super tall basketball player.
Magic Johnson.
No.
Ewing.
No.
Oh, Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah. Shaq. Yeah, he came to one of my gigs, and the stage, it was in a kind of like a pub, so floor, and then the stage, and then the PA was on top of the stage and on the sides, and it was pretty high.
Yeah.
And he came, and he was standing on the floor but leaning on the top of the PA.
Stop
That's
it.
how big he was.
Stop
Crazy.
it.
And he
That's
was
awesome.
super nice, like just a big teddy bear, but like literally his thigh was like the size of my body.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't, imagine.
Shaq.
Those walks of life, man. I saw Shaq actually on TV recently, and it took me a minute to work out it was him, because I had like an idea of what he was like from back in the day. And
Right.
He's not like prolific in the rest of the world. Like in America, he's on TV commercials and stuff.
Right.
And I see him, I'm like, what, Shaq now? What,
Yeah.
It's like a whole different dude.
Yeah.
Whole different dude.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of shows in your time. You've made a lot of hit records. You've toured the world. We did, and I thank you forever for this, getting me on stage with Prince.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Wait, was that at the O2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yes, I do now. I wouldn't have had you not remind me, but yeah.
Crazy. It was like
That was
seminal
awesome.
moment,
Did we do nylons or did you do feather or?
I think it was nylons. It was a breakdown in the
so
middle.
cool.
And I beatboxed, and
okay.
he came in and did the backing vocals and guitar and that.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
yeah, I flew into another dimension for about,
As you do. Yeah.
Kind of
Oh,
standard
that's so
stuff.
cool. And I was trying to remember how we met in the beginning. Like, how did we even? Was it Dom? Or...
No, I think it was. I think it was Printz Board.
Oh, yeah, right.
Producer Printz Board.
Yeah.
Who's big shout out to Prince. He's also
We love Printz Board. I'm still in
he's
contact with Printz Board.
yeah. He
He's like a
lives
good
up
friend.
there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
I talked to him recently about trying to connect. Like I was saying, it's like everyone knows you're there.
Yeah.
And we all know each other well, but it's
Yeah.
like, come on, let's do it. Let's just sign,
Yeah.
It's been one of those ones. But
Yeah.
he's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we connected.
That makes sense.
was in the studio.
I can't remember. I always thought it was Dom, but Dominic Trenier? No, doesn't matter.
No.
Printz Board.
And Meredith was there as well,
Yay.
Meredith Salinger, the actress. She was there too,
Yeah.
in the house at the time.
Yep.
And I was hurling beatbox vernacular at everyone for
It
a
was so
session.
good.
It was good.
I was saying to my daughter, because my daughter's here, she's hiding behind the camera. I was like, this guy's like an amazing beatboxer. You don't understand. Like, he's super dope. Like, you don't understand. He's like another level, And she's like, can you please not ask him to beatbox for me, Mom? Like, that is so embarrassing.
It's so
might
that
have
age right now.
I know. I'm so embarrassing, but
FYI.
whatever. Come on.
FYI, she's currently like just completely zoned out on a headset.
Yeah, it's-
watching something.
It's like another zone. It really is another zone. It's a whole other like plateau that they live on.
Is it YouTubers that like?
Super into YouTube. They listen to music via YouTube. Like, she doesn't have an iTunes playlist or anything. It's just YouTube. It's and then she likes whatever she likes, her DIY people and her makeup people that she watches.
That's right.
Whatever they're into.
Yeah,
And boys are into like
computer games and things. Like that.
video games, Fortnite and whatever.
Your son must be bang into that. That must be.
He's
like,
super
as well.
into it, but we haven't totally. He's only 5. And we're trying to.
You haven't lost him just yet.
I haven't lost him, but it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Because he's always asking for it. I'm like, no.
One of the familiar conversations I have on a podcast, particularly obviously with musicians, but particularly when it comes to online stuff, is like how nowadays the music is secondary, like we were saying with Instagram, to the photo or the brand.
To your brand.
Yeah, it's almost like
so weird.
like a
It's like
soundtrack,
another
innit?
job. It's a whole other skill set
Yeah.
that you have to like develop later.
Yeah.
Well, or first, but for me later.
Well,
Like, you
yeah,
know what I
me
mean?
too. Yeah.
Now I have to develop it. But
Yeah.
before it was like, what are you good at? My earring's coming off. What are you good at? What's your talent?
Exactly. Well, now it's not so much like that, is it?
No.
I was talking to a friend
So
of mine the other
sad.
day. I was talking to a friend the other day, and he was saying, there's a queue outside Supreme, the shop.
For shoes? Is that tennis shoes?
Every day, yeah, like
Yeah,
tennis,
yeah,
basketball
yeah.
shoes,
Yeah.
clothing branding. It's you'll know Supreme from back in the day, but they've
Yeah.
suddenly taken this high arc of popularity and
But you're not meant to wear them, right? You just buy them and then you just have them. Is that
yeah,
right?
and you have
So they're
photos
worth
or
more
something,
of them.
yeah, exactly.
And then you don't. And then you don't wear them.
There's a lot of that goes on. Or you have one photo with it on Instagram.
And then you sell them.
Yeah, or you sell them or keep them back,
Yeah.
And
That's so dumb.
But do you remember as a kid, though? Without wanting to kind of bracket us into this or pigeonhole us into this era, but it used to be Grease 2 posters, Michael Jordan posters. It used to be listening to music and you'd wait in a queue at Tower Records for the record. Not wait in a queue for some rare shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder where that kind of that change happened and why there isn't that queue at a record store or anywhere, that anticipation.
Because you don't need to stand in line.
It's just given, isn't it? It's given now.
Well, it's given now. It's given because you can't control that it's takeable.
Yeah.
Right? So now we give it away because it's like,
yeah,
because it is secondary.
It's almost like
it's just changed. It's the Wild West.
Yeah.
The music business is the Wild West. Anything goes. And in some ways it's really good because it's very, anything goes. So it can be very creative and people can come out of nowhere that are amazing that you discover. And, but there's a lot of crap too that gets out there too. So
yeah, it's true.
You have to want to weed through,
Yeah. Find the gold in them hills.
Yes. In those internet hills.
Internet hills. Those pumps. You've been working at the moment. You're telling me about a new release.
I have.
Came out.
I released a record. I guess it's almost a year and a bit now. That I did. We recorded it in one day, and it's with strings and like a string quartet and a rhythm section, and it's still like got like funk on it and ass on it, but it's with strings also, so it's quite beautiful and classy and I don't know. It was a really nice change for me just to because that's kind of where I came from with my dad and as an orchestrator and everything.
Okay,
so
your dad was Don Costa.
Don Costa, so he was a big producer and arranger for like Frank Sinatra and Dinah Washington and Barbra Streisand and just it goes on and on.
Wow,
Tony Bennett and blah blah blah. So I grew up in the orchestra pit. I would do my homework in the orchestra pit, and I grew up with all that.
That's bad.
Yeah, with all those people, like just backstage, side stage, just watching and not really understanding the kind of gravity of their talent and of their like iconicism. Yeah. I was like, I said to Frank Sinatra, I was like, throw me in the pool. Like I was a kid, and he was just this like dude. I mean, I could tell that he was the man. Because how every adult acted around him, but
was
kids don't play
him?
into. Yeah, totally. He was the boss.
He was the Don.
Yeah.
Did he have a smell and a swag?
I can't remember how he smelled.
Trying to get an idea. Well, yeah,
he was my dad's friend. It's like your dad's friends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, however you think of your dad's friends or your folks.
Yeah.
They're like older and they're
high powered.
They talk. Smoke a lot and they talk a lot of shit to each other.
Yeah.
And they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're a kid.
Yeah.
But if they'll throw you in the pool, then
they're up a level
like,
of like.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, oh, you're cool.
Yeah, super cool.
But then I would see him play, and all of that seeped in somehow, somewhere.
What about Tony Bennett?
Tony Bennett is actually an amazing kind of painter and like super fun dude.
No way. So
bit
he's
of a partier,
multi-talented.
Oh yeah. And he's amazing. We went and saw Stevie Wonder at Staples around Christmas time, and Tony Bennett came on and sang for his Christmas shows. Stevie has like guests come on, and Tony Bennett came and sang a couple songs, and he's 90, and he just like pranced right out.
Yeah,
and,
he's
like,
old school.
Still could fully sing and like had it like he had an energy and a thing, and he just loves life, and he's just like
He's proper OG. Like
he totally is. Totally. Yeah. He's
amazing.
90.
Yeah.
That's freaking OG.
Yeah. Yeah. Never mind your OGs. Yeah. There's real OGs out there.
And he's still going. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's an amazing like vocalist. I remember that stuff he did with Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
He actually.
And then Lady Gaga and that whole.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. but nothing against Lady Gaga, of course. But I think with Amy, he really honed in for me like what kind of a singer Amy was when he was explaining his relationship with her and how her voice worked. I never fully, I didn't realise how traditional in jazz singing she was.
Yeah,
Until
that was her first stuff.
That's right.
Not the stuff that blew up, but the stuff before
Yeah.
was more kind of super jazz.
So with the strings and the stuff that you're working with at the moment, or have been working with, has that been like a? Because I've worked with strings and I always find like the depth and the warmth and it sets a tone for how you're going to perform a play on. Sometimes it can be really pulling on those heartstrings of what they're doing. You're like, wow, I had no idea it could trigger so much emotion. You must have gone through that a fair bit. Yeah,
I mean, also the songs that I chose had to revolve around that kind of, and I was happy. I mean, it's so different from my funk shows. It's the complete opposite. It's very kind of classy and it's so beautiful. And the audience comes, and I feel like a lot of people don't get the opportunity now unless they're really into classical music or some jazz or whatever. They don't hear live strings.
No.
And it resonates in your body in a very kind of earthy, human analog way.
So
and
true.
It's very moving and really cool. And we also did a lot of moving songs because it just was that kind of thing. We would play like theaters, so people were sitting, and it was just.
Did the songs mold into each other? Did the strings kind of interlink the songs, and then it would move into it, or would you stop for breaks and be like?
Both.
That's what I love about the spontaneity of like a string section. Of course, they got to be scripted.
They're scripted.
Or else they go absolutely mental.
It's not like my funk shows are super spontaneous, and I'm like, break it down, blah, 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 on the one, blah, blah, blah. And it's like I had to kind of be like, can we do on the one? Can we do it? Like, can I break it down? And we just had to like talk about it, and they had to know, I mean, the string players that I use they're amazing crew, and they play on like all the soundtracks that are made in LA, all the big movie scores and stuff. Nice. They're like serious dudes. But they love the opportunity to play, current, like popular kind of, music too. And it's in a live setting, it's very, you never know what's going to happen. You got to be kind of on your toes, as you know. So we did as much of it as we could, but yes, they're on paper, so I couldn't really go too far.
I've been there.
Too far off, but it's fun because it puts electricity in the air because you're kind of like.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Because like their way of songwriting and scripting and performing. I know there's no rules, but that technically is like.
They're amazingly.
That's the way it should be, I guess.
Yeah, they're technical. They've been studying since they were like 3. It's like you got to respect. It's
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. And but at the same time, though, what they bring to a song is such awesome soundscape as well. It's like it is like working to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the discipline's there,
Yeah. And we would do like, the string stuff, we would do some, covers of my songs. So like, Feathers like has like some hump on it. The back of my earring. Anyway, Feather has this like hump on it, and it's fun to kind of try to, tune a quartet to like have
the swag.
Some, and they've totally, they totally got it, and they were like,
got it. I found it.
You found it?
Yeah,
oh my God, it's in my hair. It's in my hair.
I got it. Hold tight. There you go. There you go.
This is the story of my life. Everything is in my hair.
That's the one. Right.
You're
Short
thirsty?
beatbox
Hang on,
intermission.
I'm sure I've got some water in here somewhere.
Short beatbox intermission.
Beat the pressure. Complete the beating Bob test up. Psychosopranic, panic the scene. Beat the pressure. Complete the beating Bob test up. Exhale, exhale. Exhale, exhale. Play. game. Exhale, exhale.
And we're back in the room. Was it costume?
That's a handy skill.
Yeah.
It's a handy skill that you can just
Spontaneity
like,
is key.
yeah.
When in doubt, beatbox out. Yeah, man. So this happened, and you went on tour with it?
A bit.
Okay.
Yes, we did some gigs, blah blah blah, and we do gigs here, and went to New York and London and whatever. Yeah, and now I'm getting back in the studio and getting back into the funk stuff. You know, love it.
I've always been into that side of your work, the funk.
Yeah.
It's like it feels honest, and it works with your voice so well.
Yeah.
I think your songwriting leans to that a lot more.
Yeah,
what are your
I love it.
influences with the funk? Who are your influences in that world? Is it more hip hop? Is it or is it the traditional funk?
It started probably the more like 70s.
Right.
But then I was like of the age when hip hop started. So I was how old was I? Well, 8 in the 80s. I was born in 72. So in 80 I was 8. So my early teen years, when you're kind of like hip hop was like it.
Blew
Yeah.
the doors. Yeah.
So all that stuff kind of also, kind of informed what I do. And so for me, the drums are like the most important element for me to feel. I don't know. I think that comes from like the hip hop side and also rock, like Led Zeppelin and all that. Those bands are really,
your
really
voice has
important.
That too. It's like a kind of like
All that rock stuff. Yeah. So
heavy on that.
yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like songwriting wise, I mean, Stevie Wonder, and singing wise, like Aretha Franklin, Chaka Khan, like groove, like Sick Nasties, like Betty Davis, like these are the key kind of people, and then obviously Prince, huge. And then, like Led Zeppelin and, I mean, it's always the older stuff, but I loved like Run DMC. Like, I mean, I was playing Run DMC to my son because he's like such a little rocker, and we were like, "Ma, Dita's," it was like so good, and he was loving it, and I love that old school hip hop.
Yeah, it's good. That's how I got into like listening to more funk and jazz and things like that.
Right,
because
of
they would
course.
sample them.
Right.
I
mean, I remember we used to like cruise around LA, we were like 15, 16 and like is it NWA, and that stuff was like scary, like it was like heavy, like deep, scary. Like it was scary music, right? Like I was scared, but it was like the groove was so good, but it was like James Brown. Like,
exactly.
What I mean? It was all that. Like,
it was James. I remember so many samples, and then I'm listening on the originals, and I'm going, oh
my god,
yeah,
that's Funky Drummer. Yeah. And now it's like but it's in that way, hip hop is such a great schooling for younger people to learn about and respect where their roots were and where they come from and where that groove came from and.
Yeah,
it was a big kind of history.
Funky Drummer as a sample has been.
Oh my god, it's like
it's everywhere. Drum and bass as well.
Go on, give us some Funky Drummer. See?
But yeah,
there you go.
I heard a story, and correct me if I'm wrong. You may have more of an idea of it than I do, but the guy that did the Funky Drummer got sick. Got seriously sick, and Prince secretly, just out of respect for the Funky Drummer break and the Amen break, paid for his medical bills just to see him right.
I wouldn't doubt it. He did a lot of unpublicized philanthropy.
Philanthropy, yeah. Yeah.
He would go and like donate like just go, oh, pull over. I want to, and he would give schools like tons of money that just while he was on tour, just like no kind of connection or whatever. He was very.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hang out with him a lot?
Yeah. He was like my mentor for like 15 years. We had a lot of hang time, a lot of late night, conversations and late night roll in the studio vibes and lots of touring together and just a very surreal.
It's just too much for my head.
It's very surreal. It is, and even for me, it is. It's like every time we would hang, I'd be like, I'm hanging with. But then you get over it, and it's like, okay, well, it's just, But then you leave, and you're like, wait, I just was hanging. It's just.
Totally.
But he was very generous. He was very generous with me, with obviously with opportunities, because he was always putting me on tour to open for him. Like he was really trying to get people to see me, and he that just means the world to me. And then he would, he was very generous with kind of advice and just he would always like throw me suggestions, about how to make my show better or little things, and he was teaching me. And it's amazing because not that many people, I mean, you've been in this business a long time. It's very rare to come across somebody who's like willing to impart.
And totally on your side.
And not worried that you're going to like, I don't know, get bigger than them or I don't know, whatever that kind of competitive thing is. Yeah. Even if someone's huge, they could still have that. It's weird. Like they hold all their cards right here and like, I had to learn it. You got to learn it yourself. He was not like that with me. He was very, very open and like try this and what what
was the best bit of advice to your memory that he gave you? You said he gave you advice.
Yeah. He and it's so simple and obvious, but I needed it to be told to me, and then I needed to do it and see, and in fact, yes, it works. But you just tell the audience what to do. You just tell them, and they'll do it. And it's fucking true. But, I mean, you gotta have charisma. But if you just tell them, they'll do it. Get up. They'll do it.
Yeah.
They want to be told what to do in a way. You know what I mean? And that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Because it really is. It really is true.
Yeah.
But you gotta do it in the right way.
Yeah, you gotta be
like, what do you think guys think about getting up right now? Like,
yeah. You've got to be forthright. This is what you guys are going to do because you're going to have a good time doing it. That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I could talk about him for ages. I think the key thing about it, especially with podcasts now, is the feed of information.
Yeah.
Past, present, yourself, other people, and the way that we translate the message. It's the best time for that. With podcasts, we can talk about in hindsight these Frank Sinatras, and we've got history. We have to pass that on, and this is a beautiful way of doing it, man.
Yeah.
And I'm so touched you came through.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Come on, you came in my box.
I did indeed.
Oh, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, that's right. Are you still living in the same?
No, we've
spot?
moved twice since then.
Still got the same doggies?
But no, wah. But new ones.
New ones.
And more children.
More children. Yeah, exactly. You kind of upgraded.
Keith,
there,
I have. But Keith, who was filming it all and editing it all, we've talked about bringing the box back. So we're, it's just we're trying to find a moment. I mean, we were just talking about how much time and
labor intensive
to put something out.
I've said this before, but I go with the Bill Gates strategy of like finding the laziest person to do the hardest job, and then find the easiest way to get it done. I'm that guy, right? So check this out. This is, for those of you who don't know, I mean, I'm on the 25th podcast.
So how often are you putting them up?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. That was us too.
Yeah.
It's weekly. Oof, that's
I know, it's full on.
It's a lot.
But this
that's
is
what we
just
did with the
it's
box.
just an iPhone 720
Yeah.
quality with a stand, and I just got Ableton running.
Yeah,
and when
amazing.
you've done it, you can drop the video into Ableton as well,
Right.
and it syncs it.
Yeah, right.
So it's like,
Well, that's cool.
yeah, man,
So it's come a long way because when we were doing maybe that, but he had like a
he
proper.
had the camera and he had the whole
He
thing.
had a proper camera.
But I'd
and a
imagine
thing
there
and
was a lot of kind of.
But you don't need all that.
Not really.
But we did some like skits and editing and.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
you
blah.
guys need to check out the Nikka's box that's on
Nikka's box
YouTube
is
because
pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. Like, it was definitely something of like inspiration when I see doing it. I was like, yeah, that's a really
I know. I got to do it again.
You should
I
do it
bring it
again.
back. I know. Dust off the box.
dust off the box. No. Do you miss the intensity of like doing consistent touring and shows?
Well, I've inherited another kind of intensity. Just
Yeah.
being a mom of two younger kids, and also trying to have some sort of like creative outlet and career kind of mid-boil. I always, even before kids though, I always was like this anyway. I would do like crazy ramp up, hit it, hit the touring hard, and then chill.
Yeah.
Chill, and then go hard, and then chill. And I think it's kept me sane and kind of normal and like happier. And I love my family and my man, and I love being home and pottering around. I need that balance.
I get you.
I think it's just not everything to me, to kind of be.
Yeah.
I have so many more things that kind of nourish my
I get
soul.
What you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you've been you're within the tapestry of California when it comes to like music and connectivity. People, the amount of times like I mention your name in passing conversation with other musicians, and it's almost like because they just know
nice.
you as being the staple person within the music scene.
Right.
So I guess when you're immersed in it so much, it's like your notoriety precedes you anyway, so you can kind of tap in and tap out.
One can hope. Yeah. I don't know. Half of the time I always feel like I can never return, like no one will know me next time or something like that. But I think, as far as like musicians go and other artists and, everybody who's kind of in it, doing it, if they know my stuff, like, I think there's a kind of like respect that I haven't just gone on the path of everyone else. I kind of have maintained my truth.
Yep.
And I think that's what kind of maybe even subconsciously kind of precedes me. Do you know what I mean?
I really respect that. I do respect that. It's very easy to fall into fashion and try and keep up with something, and you lose a bit of your own identity. You lose a bit of your heritage. It's cool if what you're doing is it has that relevance that, well, I don't know, if you were sampled by a hip hop act and then all of a sudden like that song still remains in the public.
I would love that.
That would be
that
the
would
one,
be
right?
amazing. That would be super fun.
But that also leans. I always find that as like that's decent integrity for somebody to have done that, and you remain still.
Well, it's like that guy. I don't know who sampled it, but that Lauryn Hill song is a sample of a popular song now. It's sped up.
Oh right, maybe I haven't heard it. Maybe I wouldn't.
It's
know.
like on the radio. It's like a hit.
Oh, I see. Oh, so it's out at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, so were they?
Yeah.
And there is something about that kind of Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu mystique, isn't there? And you as well. I think girls have that more than guys do in many respects.
Well, we also came at the same
you
time.
came at the same
it was
time
that
as each
same kind of
other.
time where there was a big kind of soul movement, and
You were totally part of that fraternity. And who was the other girl? Jill Scott.
And Jill Scott.
Yeah.
That's right. And
You were
like
totally
D'Angelo and that whole
Lenny Kravitz as well. I'd put him in
yeah.
the same
Lenny
bucket.
was a little before.
That's it, yeah.
But yeah, in that same zone. And yeah, I think there's kind of it was a wonderful time to be making music, because it was still can you hear my daughters?
No.
Can you hear her earphones?
No,
oh,
I
you
can't.
can't?
But we can turn it up, perhaps.
She's totally in the zone. It was still a time when you could make really crafted, take your time making albums.
Yeah.
You know, massage it, really think about it. You know, make something that was meaningful and not just a quick thing. I think now everything's just going faster and.
The thing is, people want those songs. They want those out. They want those songs that stay forever for the long game, but they ain't got the patience to make it.
Right.
That's the hard. And also, where money isn't a problem now, unless you're working with string quartets, where obviously that comes into a different kind of musicians' union kind of play.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's in a box.
Totally.
So why now wouldn't you be able to make something?
Right.
Such
You have all the time you need.
And all the
But you don't, because if you're going to be released by like a major, for instance, well, there's only 2 or 3 majors left. They don't give you the chance to make a record that maybe doesn't do anything. Like if you don't have it out the box, like even on one record, the first song they release, if it doesn't hit a certain thing, you're gone,
Yeah,
done.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give you the chance. I remember Bono saying that at the they got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and they were just saying had we come out now, we would not have, because they didn't hit till like their 3rd record. Yeah. Imagine having 3 records to kind of develop. See if it would develop. Yeah,
it's crazy to think.
Yeah,
and
it would never happen now.
No, and when you think of the age groups in which these people were doing it now, well, back then compared to now, like I think Blondie, she was about 34 when she started breaking through with hits. I think Sting was around 35.
Really?
Yeah, they were really in the middle age.
Yeah,
they were in the middle age range.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think nowadays, not only are you governed by an even younger type of act, but they're so young that it's more geared towards Instagram and things like that. Some of these kids rappers, they're like super young.
Yeah.
Super young.
And it's all about like how many eyeballs you have and all that stuff. Like you got to do all your marketing and all your stuff, all the stuff that the labels used to do or whatever. It's all, they all check and make sure that you've got all that shit
yourself
down
so they can
done,
do as little
as possible and take as much of it. Yeah, it's crazy. But there's got to be some good that comes of it.
Yeah, man.
The fact that you can just make something and put it out in the world. Yeah.
There's a transition happening. Do you think with your daughter, Sugar, do you think what she's learning is, because a lot of these kids now, when I say kids, I am genuinely talking about 13 or 14-year-olds. They're quick to just click on and fix a problem. They're video creators, they're fashion photographers, they're musicians. Do you think that is inherited in them installed into them at an early age without you even knowing it because of technology as a mum?
Yeah, because it's there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and not only that, it's getting younger and younger because people, kids are getting phones younger and younger, and then they all are just using it, and it's so user friendly. They already know how to do it all. Yeah. It's trippy, but they do still find their own interests. Like my daughter has no interest she wants to do a YouTube channel, but she doesn't want to do the editing. She's like, I don't want to do all that editing. I don't like that. So they kind of find their things, I think, even within the technologies, and who knows how it develops them or whatever. For me as a mom, I just want to try to give them like some sort of balance. So like you're outside or you're busy doing something physical. Yeah. She does dance like a lot. And
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good. It keeps them off that insular kind of world.
You're
and
right. You're right.
Can have a thought because they're not looking at something, giving themselves a thought.
Burning their heads up with.
Yeah, like we're in our phones. We're at the dry cleaner or we're at the car wash and we're like in our phone, like where we used to just sit and like maybe something would occur to us. It could be a dream. or a goal,
or a song idea,
or a song idea, or a painting idea, or So, as a mom, I really, and Justin too, we're really conscious of trying to figure out how to give them some space of nothingness. Do you know?
Just to have their
It's
own time.
really hard. It's an argument every time.
Really?
Yeah. Because phones are fun.
And that's the addiction
I
of
think
it.
phones are fun.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I love my phone.
So
But,
she dances. I mean, you're a bit of a keen dancer as well. I've seen in the videos.
I can shake my booty.
Yeah.
No, but she's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
And she would think that I was like the worst dancer ever.
No way.
That's just the mom. That's just how it is. The next generation. They're like, oh, you're so lame.
It's true, isn't it? That the
Yeah.
way. Then?
Yeah. I'm like, you don't know how cool I am.
Yeah.
People pay to see me.
Yeah, exactly. You weren't there. Yeah. It's funny. I mean, but I have that with my nephew as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much he really kind of
Understands how awesome you are.
or kind of cares.
Or cares. Yeah.
My mum will turn around and say something really like, "Hey, you know, that's your uncle, that is," and he's like,
Yeah.
back on the game,
Is he into Fortnite? Do you know Fortnite?
No.
Oh, okay.
What's that? Is that?
It's like a huge video game that all the boys are into. So I
then
thought because but maybe it's not.
He's a gameholic. Like
Yeah,
I've seen him.
He's got to know. He's got to know what it is then.
He'll know.
You know what's weird is the phenomenon of watching someone open a game or a thing or whatever. What is it called? Unboxing?
Unboxing, yeah.
Unboxing.
I know.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is it? It's like some fetish. It's like a fetish of like the wrapper, like the sound of it's the craziest the craziest thing. And I actually know a manager of those people. And they make so much fucking money. I'm like, can you give me something to unbox? I'll unwrap it for you.
That's
like,
amazing.
What the hell? That is where technology to me and like where we're headed and whatever is so just wigs me out. I don't understand.
It's like pimple popping, isn't it? It's like the
It's
just weird fetish.
Right? It's a fetish.
Yeah, it's like, and people used to feel. I mean, it's weird. And let's see the reaction videos to a video. As well.
Right.
Like me watching you watching them.
Right. Yeah.
And
it can keep going. It can just keep going because you could film yourself watching something and then film that person watching you, and then you could just keep doing it and just I don't know, split the screen and just or like it's like bizarre. It's like those reality people, those reality shows that then have like roundtable discussions about the reality show that they were just on and in.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's mad.
We're all in like a mad vacuumous.
It's really weird. That's why it's really good to just not look at anything and just like see where your thought might land. Yeah, it's so important.
I don't know where people have the time for it neither. I mean, this thing with the podcast, I like to keep them relatively 30 minutes to 40 minutes tops.
Yeah.
God, I just don't think people should have that amount of time to just be on one thing the whole time. I mean,
no,
it's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you watch,
so what do you edit it down to? Because no one's going to watch that whole thing.
No, exactly.
Except for this one, because we're so entertaining.
We're so absolutely.
You know what we should do? We should do a follow-up about how we felt about this podcast.
Us watching us. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. And when my earring came off, I was so aggravated. Yeah. And then that was so cool. Have you beatbox that? Oh, my God.
That's a genius idea. That's a genius idea. And genuinely, let's see how many people check it out.
Yeah, but it needs to be short. We'll do a short one. Do like a 5-minute.
Yeah.
It'll be huge.
Yeah. Maybe just have an audio overdub. So the thing could be playing.
You can just narrate.
Yeah, narrate. Kela interjects.
Oh my God. Oh, shit.
But I did speak to this one guy. I've forgotten who it was. It was an artist, and he was saying that it was Enzo Amore. He was saying that in WWE, with the wrestling, they will have a reaction video of people watching his moves, and there'll be a soundtrack on there and stuff, just highlights and things. And he was saying that when a song gets played or people are rewatching it, it still counts as, PRS. things like that, because someone's playing it through again, and that sometimes, depending on the person that it's on the subscriber of, could be like go through the roof more than your own video, but you're still earning the same amount. So they're just like little kind of pockets of further
Extra,
income,
right?
and
That's good.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
So all is not lost
all is not lost
in the confusion
yet.
of all that. It happens.
Yeah.
It works. Well, look, I'm not going to take up any more because I know you've got a day of shopping. And Sugar's over there thinking, what are we doing? No.
Well, can we go to Forever 21?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Los Angeles, my friend, Nikka Costa. Thanks for coming over, babe.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah! Peace! Bye! How's that?
Oh, mate.